On today's video, 3 ways to grow your church this Easter. All right, 3 ways to grow your church this Easter. I'm Matt Burrell. Thank you for joining us again for a new video, a new topic. If you're in church ministry, I shouldn't have to tell you that Easter is the greatest day of the church year. It is the biggest, most crowded Super Bowl day of the year. It is the Olympics of the church calendar. And so Easter is a great day. Now, some of us who are in smaller works, we have a tendency to view Easter almost in a negative way. We go, man, why do all these people show up on one day a year, but they don't show up any other day of the year? And sometimes if we're not careful, we'll view it in a negative way. But I want you to look at Easter as a gift. It is a gift from God. It is a day and an opportunity to grow your church. You see, we're already going to have a full day on Easter. It's already going to be a lot of people who normally aren't there. But this year, we're going to do something different. We are going to actually capitalize on this day, and we're going to grow our church through the Easter calendar. Now, how in the world do you grow your church through Easter? Well, number one is Facebook ads. Facebook ads are the number one thing that every church must be doing during the Easter season. You must be running these ads, and of course, you know that also includes Instagram as well. And so Instagram and Facebook ads need to be run. They are the most effective, most powerful, best way to reach people in your community there is. Now, I know some of you young guys out there, you're going, oh, Facebook is for older people. Facebook is not as effective as it used to be. Instagram is not as effective as it used to be. Why in the world would you go there? You could do this platform, and more younger people are on this platform. But I want to say, now you give me a chance, Facebook is still the largest, most liked, most watched, most downloaded, most advertised social media there is in the world. And so what I'm saying is, for your dollar, it is the best way you have of reaching not just a small group of people, but the largest group of people there is. Now, people say, why in the world use social media ads? Preacher, why do I have to do this? Well, listen, newspapers are outdated. The radio doesn't work. Mail-outs and mass mail-outs are so costly and so expensive, and you're not even sure if people see them. Facebook ads and Instagram ads are so cheap. I mean, they are cheap, cheap, cheap. I would love to see every person here, if you don't have anything else, start with $100 the week before Easter. Advertise for a week on Facebook for $100. Maybe get crazy. Do 2 weeks for $200. I promise you'll reach more people in that week or 2 weeks with that small $100 than you will anywhere else. You can put a pin on your map and say, look, advertise to people 5 miles from my church, 10 miles, 15 miles, 20 miles. You can tell them where you want these advertisements to be, and Facebook will put them there, and you will reach a greater group of people with that $100 than you will with any other form of advertising there is. Now, Facebook ads are daunting in some people's minds. They're not that difficult. They're not that hard. And maybe you're on here and you want to see a video. Maybe you would like to see a video on Facebook ads. I would be willing to do that video, but I've got to get you've got to comment in here and say, hey, I'd like to see a Facebook ad video, because I don't want to do it if nobody's going to watch it, because there's a lot that kind of, it's not hard, but there's a lot of information I need to put together to show you that. So if you are really interested in Facebook ads, please drop some comments in the comments. Say, hey, I'd like to see a video. If I get enough of those, I'll do a Facebook ad video, because it's so important. It is the number one tool that every church should be using. And if you're not using social media to grow your church, you're not even trying. You've got to use social media, and particularly at Easter. You see, people are going to church this Sunday, or on Easter Sunday, but the question is, where are they going to go on Easter Sunday? I think you should be that church that they want to go to. Now, you may be a traditional church, you may be a contemporary church, you may be a church full of seniors or young people or middle-aged or diverse or whatever type of church you are. Understand this, that there are things that you should be advertising and saying, this is why you should come and be a part of what we're doing. Now, every church is different. Every church has a different approach. but the principles are the same. And so if you don't know how to advertise a liturgical church or a traditional church or a contemporary church, you want some ideas, reach out to us. We'll try to help you, because the idea is this. There's churches for every person. You've just got to accentuate what makes you unique and what people need to see. And Facebook ads is a great way to do that. Now, number two, what is number two? Well, number two is this. We're going to reach out to the community, number one, through Facebook events. That is us reaching out to them. But here's the key. We want them to come to us. And so Easter would be a bad time to do that, because they've never met you. They don't know you. They're not affiliated with you. They're not sure of who or what you are. So here's what you do. Number two, have an Easter egg hunt. Now, every year we have an Easter egg hunt the Saturday before Easter. Now, and I've had pastors in the past complain and go, but preacher, wouldn't that cause work for you? Like, they're going to do this Easter egg hunt the Saturday before Easter on the same weekend. Won't that be really, really busy? And the answer is, yes, it will. But here's the thing I've always said. I want the last church that person has been at before Easter Sunday to be my church. I want them to come to our church for an Easter egg hunt, have a great time. Their kids get a lot of candy. They get a picture with the Easter bunny. They get to meet some of our staff or meet me, and they go, you know what? Those are pretty cool people. So that on Easter morning when they wake up, they go, hey, where are we going to go to church? Well, let's go down there. We're with the Easter egg hunt. Those people seem like they were pretty cool. And that's what I want to do. I want to be the last touch that they receive before Easter. Now, how does it work? It's real simple. When we first started off, we made terrible mistakes. We didn't even know if it would work. A couple in my church said, hey, can we do an Easter egg hunt? I'm like, sure, why not? We did a little ad in the newspaper. That's how long ago it was. And we got like 300 eggs and put, candy in them. People came in like locusts, took all our eggs and left. And we were like, man, we did a terrible job with that Easter egg hunt. But what we did learn is that Easter egg hunts work. And so now we've got a 10,000 Easter egg every year hunt. I mean, we advertise at 10,000 Easter eggs, and we put out Easter eggs, and kids collect all these eggs. They bring them to us, and when they turn the eggs back into us, that way we get to keep our eggs. We give them bags that we've already prepared with candy, not a little bit of candy, a lot of candy. One of these kids leaving feeling like they had a great time. The second thing we do is, in that bag, though, is an outreach card. And this card says, hey, come back and see us. Sunrise service, our morning services, or whatever services you have, that's on the card in the bag, 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours before Easter Sunday. And that way they think of you and they see, hey, we could make the 9:30 service, the 11 o'clock service, the whatever service. The Easter egg hunt is important. And maybe you're on here and you're like, I don't know about all this, but it sounds awesome. Reach out to us in the comments. We'll try to give you some direction. If you have some questions, how to do it, the ways to do it, ways to make it easy on yourself, we'll try to help you any way we can. But the Easter egg hunt works. It works. It is super important. You reach out to them on Facebook, and then what do? You bring them to you where they meet you. I'm walking around with a lanyard on, says Pastor Matt. Hey guys, y'all having a good time? Yeah, we are. Hey, it's awesome. Glad. Thank you for coming out to our Easter egg hunt. Hey, you guys go to church anywhere? No, we're just kind of new to the area. Well, hey guys, we'd love to see you sometime. Even come by Easter. We'd love to have you. And man, listen, it works. People show up. That's what it does. Now, the third one. The third one's the most important one. But before I get to the third one, let me say, if you've never liked a video of ours, please give us a like. It helps the videos grow. It helps people see them. Please punch that like button. YouTube knows we need it. And then if you've never subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. That helps this channel to grow, because our desire is for all of us as Christ followers to grow our ministries together. Nobody's an island. Let's help one another. So subscribe to this channel. Now, number three. What is number three? Well, number one is Facebook ads. Number two is Easter egg hunts, a reason to bring them to your church before the Easter service. But number three is the most important. Here's the key. The place will be packed. It'll be the most people you have all year long. Here's the question. How do you get them to come back next Sunday? How are you going to get them to come back on the Sunday after Easter? Because after all, if we're going to have all these people here, we're going to put in all this effort, we're going to put in all this resources. If they don't come back, what's the point of doing it? Now, here's the way you get them back. How do you get them back? You have got to advertise. This is number three, advertise. your next sermon series. Now, it can't be something boring. It can't be something old. It can't be something that's terrible. It has to be creative, innovative, and gives a person a reason to come back. And in your sermon, you're going to say, man, something like this: we're so thankful that you've come to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. It's so good that you're here. Jesus is alive and we're excited. Guys, before I get into the sermon, I want to remind you that next week, we're starting a brand new sermon series on X. That's what you've got to do. You have got to advertise that sermon series, X. Whatever that is, you have to advertise it in that moment. Now, here's the key. What is it going to be on? Well, it needs to be something that is super popular for you guys. It needs to be something that is a really popular sermon series. Now, with us, our most popular sermon series is always about the family. It's always about parenting or marriage or the home. You've got to find a way, that something that is exciting to your people that they want to hear. You want to be able to say, hey guys, listen, next week we're doing a sermon series on marriage. Listen, wives, drag those husbands back. They're going to need this sermon series. It's going to help your marriage. Guess what? They'll show up. Put some thought into some creative ideas of what you want to do. Maybe at your church, other series are more popular, but make sure that the titles are creative and that you present it in a way that makes people want to come back next Sunday. Now, guys, listen. I want to say that Easter is the most important time of the year as a church. We've got to grow. You've got to use social media. You've got to be on Facebook doing ads. We've got to have some sort of outreach that brings people to our church, like an Easter egg hunt. And then we must give people a reason to come back the next week. Now, if you're here and you're watching this and you're like, man, I want to have a Facebook video, please remember, drop me a comment so I'll know you want to see it. That way I'll be willing to do it. And then maybe you're on here and you're like, man, I would love to do a sermon series on the family, but I can't think of any creative ways to do that. Maybe drop that in the comments. I'll give you some ideas of what we do. Maybe you're on here and you've got some ideas of some creative sermon series, maybe on the family or something else that works for you. Please drop those in the comments so other people can grab those ideas, because that's what this channel is for, is so that we as a group can grow together. I appreciate you watching this video, and if you got more time, hey, check out these other videos. We'd love to help you in any way we can. We can't wait to see you next time.